The studio lights were bright as Julia Roberts stepped onto the set of The View. Her famous smile lit up the room, and the audience broke into loud applause. She looked stunning in a flowing green dress that perfectly matched her well-known red hair, which shimmered under the lights as she waved and took her seat next to the hosts. Whoopi Goldberg greeted her warmly, followed by Sarah Haynes and Sunny Hostin, who both seemed thrilled to have her there. But Joy Behar's mood felt a bit off. While everyone else smiled with genuine excitement, Joy leaned back in her chair with a smirk, her eyes sparkling with a mix of curiosity and something sharper. Maybe even trouble? "Julia, welcome back to The View," Whoopi began, her voice kind and cheerful. "It's always such a pleasure to have you here." "Thank you so much for inviting me," Julia replied, her voice carrying that familiar warm laugh that had won people's hearts for years. "I love being here with all of you. The energy is always so wonderful." The chat began nicely, with Sarah asking Julia about her latest movie project and Sunny bringing up questions about her family. Julia answered each one with her usual grace and humor, sharing fun little stories that had the audience laughing and the hosts smiling. But Joy stayed oddly quiet, watching Julia with sharp eyes that didn't quite soften. "You know, Julia," Joy finally said, cutting Sarah off mid-sentence, "I've followed your career for a long time, and I have to ask, don't you ever get tired of playing the same kind of character over and over again?" The question hung in the air like a heavy cloud, and the whole studio went silent. Julia's smile faded just slightly before she recovered and let out a small laugh. "I'm not sure what you mean, Joy," Julia replied carefully. "I've taken on lots of different roles in my career." "Oh, come on," Joy pushed, leaning forward with a grin that didn't reach her eyes. "The pretty woman, the romantic lead, the girl next door with the bright smile. It's always the same thing in a different movie. Don't you think your audience deserves something new from someone with your supposed talent?" Whoopi shifted uncomfortably, feeling the tension rise. "Joy, I think Julia has shown great range in her films," she tried to add, but Joy wasn't done. "I mean, let's be honest here," Joy continued. "You've made a career out of being America's sweetheart. But what happens when America gets tired of sweet? What happens when they want something real?" Julia straightened in her chair, her famous smile fading completely now. "I think my work speaks for itself, Joy," she said calmly. "I've always tried to bring truth to every role I take." "Truth?" Joy laughed, a short, cutting sound. "Is that what we're calling it? Because to me, it looks like you've been playing the same version of yourself for 30 years. The other hosts exchanged worried looks. Sunny tried to move things back to normal. "Julia, tell us about your upcoming projects. I know you have some exciting things coming up." But Joy wasn't ready to let go. "Actually, let's talk about something else," she said sharply. "Let's talk about privilege. Let's talk about how easy it is to stay perfect when you've never faced any real struggles." Julia's eyes flashed. "Excuse me? You heard me?" Joy pressed, clearly enjoying the reaction. "You've had a charmed life, Julia. Born beautiful, discovered young, handed fame on a silver plate. What do you know about real struggle? What do you know about what the rest of us live through every day?" The crowd was completely silent now, realizing they were watching something far from the usual cheerful morning chat. Julia took a deep breath. "Joy, I think you're making unfair assumptions about me," she said, keeping her voice calm but with a sharp edge. "You don't know anything about what I've gone through." "Don't I?" Joy snapped back. "Because from where I'm sitting, your biggest problem seems to be choosing which mansion to live in." Whoopi jumped in, her voice firm. "Okay, Joy, I think that's enough." "No, Whoopi," Joy interrupted. "Someone needs to ask the hard questions. Someone needs to call out this perfect princess image for what it really is. A lie." Julia's face paled slightly, but her tone stayed controlled. "I've never said I was perfect, Joy. I've always been honest about my mistakes and growth." "Have you though?" Joy challenged. "Or have you just given the public a polished version of your life that your team approves? When's the last time you showed us the real Julia Roberts?" The studio air felt heavy. Even the camera crew looked nervous. None of the hosts moved, unsure what to do as the interview turned into something painful to watch. "I think there's a misunderstanding," Julia said, her voice now showing some strain. "I came here to talk about my work and connect with your viewers, not to be personally attacked." "Oh, is that what this is? An attack?" Joy leaned back, smiling coldly. "I thought this was honest conversation. Isn't that what talk shows are for? Honesty. There's a difference between honesty and cruelty." Julia replied, her patience thinning. "There's a difference between asking hard questions and trying to hurt someone." Hurt someone? Joy laughed again, that same harsh sound. If a few honest questions hurt your feelings, maybe you're not as strong as you seem. The audience gasped slightly. Julia's face flushed red. For a moment it felt like the entire studio was holding its breath. Strong? Julia repeated quietly, her voice dangerously calm. You want to talk about strength, Joy? Strength is sitting here while you try to tear me down for your entertainment. Strength is not responding to your cruelty with cruelty. Joy's eyes gleamed. Now we're getting somewhere. There's the fire I knew was hiding under that sweet image. Tell me, Julia, how does it feel to drop the act? This isn't an act, Julia said, her voice rising slightly. This is me trying to stay composed while you attack me for no reason. Attack you? Joy scoffed. You're a public figure, Julia. You put yourself out there. You open yourself up to criticism. Sarah looked desperate to end it. Maybe we should take a break, she whispered. No breaks, Joy said sharply. We're just getting started. Julia, let's talk about your marriages. 3, right? That's not very fairy tale, like, is it? The crowd gasped audibly. Whoopi's jaw dropped. Joy, that's totally inappropriate, she said sternly. Is it? Joy challenged. She talks about love in every interview. Makes movies about finding the one. But her personal life doesn't exactly fit the script, does it? Julia's hands trembled. My personal life is just that. Personal, she said firmly. But it's also part of who you are. Joy shot back. It shows the difference between the image and the truth. Maybe you're not the relationship expert your movies make you seem. I never claimed to be an expert, Julia said through clenched teeth. I'm an actress. I play characters. That's my job, right? Joy said mockingly. You play characters. But maybe the problem is that you never stop playing them. Even now you're still performing. When do we get to see the real Julia Roberts? You want real? Julia's voice shook with emotion. This is real, Joy. This hurt, this humiliation, this is real. Good, Joy said coldly. Some honesty. Sunny looked horrified. Joy, what are you doing? Julia is our guest. Our guest who's been lying to the public for years, Joy said harshly. Our guest who built a career on pretending. Fake. Julia's voice cracked. You think I'm fake? You think everything I've worked for is fake? I think you're a product, Joy said, her tone icy, a brand designed to sell tickets. The real Julia Roberts got lost long ago. Julia's eyes filled with tears. You know what, Joy? You're right about one thing. There is a real Julia Roberts. And she's telling me I don't have to sit here and take this abuse. Abuse, Joy said mockingly. This is just honesty. No, Julia said, standing up. This is cruelty. And I won't tolerate it. From you or anyone. Joy's expression flickered, a moment of regret flashing through her eyes. Come on, Julia, don't be dramatic. Sit down. This isn't drama, Julia said. It's self-respect. You're using your platform to humiliate me, and I won't be part of it. Whoopi stood up too, looking distressed. Julia, please don't go. Maybe we can fix this. No, Whoopi, Julia said softly. Some things can't be fixed. Some things are just wrong. Joy tried to sound calmer. If I hurt your feelings, that wasn't my goal. I was trying to have an honest discussion. Everything about this was intentional. Julia replied, her voice shaking but strong. Every question, every insult, every attempt to make me look fake. You came here to tear me down. That's not true, Joy said weakly. Isn't it? Julia asked. Then why have you ignored every attempt to change the subject? Why are you enjoying this so much? For the first time, Joy had no answer. The audience stayed completely silent. I'm a journalist, Joy said quietly. It's my job to ask tough questions. No, Julia said firmly. You're not being a journalist right now. You're being a bully. That word hit Joy hard. Her face went red. I'm not a bully. I've done this for years. Then maybe it's time someone told you the truth, Julia said. There's a line between being provocative and being cruel. You want to talk about cruel? Joy snapped. How about lying to millions of people? Pretending to be perfect? I've never claimed to be perfect, Julia said, shaking her head. All I've ever tried to do is bring people a little joy. That's the problem, Joy said. You make it look easy. Life isn't a movie. Julia looked at her sadly. You're right, Joy. Life is messy and painful. But it's also beautiful. If my work helps even one person remember that, then I'm proud of it. Joy muttered. That's naive. No, Julia said. Naive is thinking that being cruel makes you real. Cynicism isn't honesty. Joy's face turned red. Don't lecture me about authenticity. I'm not, Julia said, unhooking her mic. But I'm done. This is reality. Joy hissed. No, Julia said quietly. Reality is that you've spent the last 20 minutes trying to destroy someone. You used your platform to hurt. I was doing my job, Joy said, her voice breaking. Your job is to host, not humiliate, Julia said. Whoopi tried again. Julia, please, let's take a breath. No, Julia said. Some things cross a line. I came here with kindness and was met with cruelty. Joy stood up, shouting, Fine, leave! That's what people like you do, run away? Julia turned, sadness in her eyes. No, Joy. People like me just refuse to feed cruelty. Bad behavior. Joy yelled. I was asking real questions about a celebrity who makes millions pretending to be perfect. And there it is, Julia said. You think I'm pretending? Maybe that says more about you than it does about me. The studio stayed silent as Julia walked off the set. Joy stood frozen, breathing heavily, realizing too late what she had done. Whoopi looked into the camera, her voice shaky. We'll be right back after this break. The show cut to commercial, but no one in the audience moved. They had just witnessed one of the most shocking moments in daytime TV. Julia Roberts had walked off The View, and the world would be talking about it for years. What did you think of this explosive showdown? Did Joy Behar go too far, or was she just doing her job? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable celebrity moments you won't see anywhere else.